Good morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning here in Florida. And there are some things in the garden I wanted to show you. And I had so much fun on my last morning walkthrough. I decided to do it again. I didn't get out here this weekend no, I didn't make a video this weekend like I wanted to. I was definitely out in the garden all weekend. But there's some exciting things I want to show you. I'm not going to do like a full walkthrough because I just did one recently, but there are things I want to show you. Oh, actually, there's something that's not in the garden I wanted to show you too. My lovely husband, y'all. So, you guys see my my seed starting addiction, right? Like I always have a bunch of seedlings here on my patio table. And so whenever we want to sit outside at the patio table, I have to move all the seedlings somewhere else, and then it's like a whole thing. And I said, I wish I just had like a potting bench, you know? He said, oh, I have this workbench. It's a long story. I went to his family member's house, and he's like, I'll go get it for you. And he just went and got it. So it's here. It still needs to be cleaned up and leveled out a little bit. But I'm really excited to move all my stuff over here, and eventually we plan to like put a little covering over it for a little bit of shade. But where it's at, it kind of gets some shade anyway. So I'll show you that, which I'm really excited about. So hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll have a whole little setup just for my seedlings. What? That's crazy. So there is our deck, y'all. It's always a mess. I do my best, okay? But all my seedlings are over there, and I put the umbrella up sometimes to shade it or whatever. But then over here, which I have a rain barrel I'm gonna put right there, another one, I have several of them, and all this crap. I just need to do all my projects. These beer bottles I had someone save because I'm gonna make a border on that flower bed. Y'all, it's whatever. But here it is. He's gonna sand the top for me, and then level it out and everything. And then my rain barrel will be right there, and then I can put all my, it'll just be so good for me. I know it's not exciting to anyone else but me, but it's like a really big deal for me. I'm so excited. But okay, here we are, going to the garden. It's about 7 a.m. I've already had my coffee. I'm trying to wake up earlier. I've gotten in the rut of sleeping in over this summer, but then I don't have enough time in the day, so I need to start waking up earlier. So my trellis got wind blown, and it's so heavy with green beans. It won't go back because it's like bent now. But we kind of knew that that was going to happen because this is just like a piece of fence. So it's fine for now. Actually, it makes it easier that I can reach the beans on the top. So I'm only 5'3", so I'm not able to like reach all the top. I just harvested beans yesterday, and there's already more I can harvest. I try to wait till they're like firm, because I often make the mistake of picking beans too early because I'm just so scared for them to get tough. But anyway, I'm making a big pot of beans today, green beans. So yes. Hey guys, I'm like the worst camera person in the world because I'm like looking at what I'm looking at in real life instead of the camera. Anyways, so let's talk about this string trellis. Okay, my lovely husband, I told him what I wanted. Y'all, he's not a gardener, first of all. That's what I should start with. This is not his project. Gardening is my thing, okay? And he goes along with all of my plans. And if I ask him to help me with something, he definitely does. Or if I ask him to like envision something for me, he's like the best. I told him what I wanted here. He's like, yeah, sure, I got you. I can do that. So I was like, cool. He made this. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. And I was able to string up a couple of things, but there's a learning curve to string trellises apparently. And yeah, so I may have killed a bunch of things. There was 2 Everglades tomato plants here, and they were taking over. It was too much. And if you watched my last walkthrough, you saw that was like my whole reason for wanting this string trellis, because it would take hours just to harvest the Everglades tomatoes. So you can see a pile of Everglades tomatoes over here. Pro tip: if you grow Everglades tomatoes, don't throw them in your compost unless you want tomatoes everywhere in your garden. Which last year I didn't think was going to be a problem. However, I realized this year that it totally was. So anyway, this stump there was a whole giant Everglades tomato plant, but I went ahead and cut it all the way back. And this one I just cut to like 2 or 3 vines, which really I could have gone less than that, but this is what I did for now. And then these were all bush beans, but I don't exactly know why, and some of you might know why, but sometimes if they're too close together and something else is like in their way, they'll vine out, kind of like a pole bean, but it's definitely not a pole bean. And the Everglades tomatoes were all up in its business, and so it like wrapped around it. So then some of these bush beans vined out a lot. I don't know. I don't know how else to say that. So I went ahead and strung those up so they could, I don't know, live out their destiny or whatever. So there's a couple of those up here, and they seem happy. I just did this last night, so. And then I cut out some of these bush bean plants that were done, in my opinion, and left some of them there. Anyway, I worked on this for hours yesterday, and there's not a lot to show for it, is there? And stringing up these ground cherries, which I got like a whole gallon of ground cherries whenever I was stringing these up that were on the ground. There's more on the ground now. They are so prolific. They are just loaded with fruit. We have to wait for them to fall to the ground to harvest them. And they're delicious, but that is the key. You have to wait for them to fall to the ground. And for whatever reason, the bugs don't really eat them. I don't understand why. Oh man, but the bugs are eating me. I'm covered in mosquitoes. But anyway, stringing these up will be more difficult than I anticipated. So, yeah, these like crawl along the ground, and I don't really know how you're supposed to trellis them. So, also I need to figure out what this needs, because yeah, although I have not fertilized any of this over here, so that's probably what it needs, huh? There's a lot of tomatillos. That's a Brandywine tomato I planted there, mostly because it was gonna die. Oh, I don't know where that cut off. My alarm went off. I'm supposed to be awake right now. Wake up. But anyway, that's a Brandywine tomato I planted there because it needed to be planted out or it was gonna die in its seed starting cup. It is not the right time to plant out tomatoes, but you'll see that I did it anyway there and other places, because I think technically the time to plant out the tomatoes for fall harvesting is like July, August, but it's the middle of June, so like how much different could it be? I actually went and looked at the average temperatures for where I live. I need to harvest these. Oh my gosh, they're like really firm. Anyway, I went and looked at the average temperatures, and they're the same for now and July, but I'm sure there's a reason that people smarter than me have come up with, but I'm just gonna do whatever I want. How about that? Ooh, this tomato plant is doing really well. This is the one I thought was dead maybe like a couple weeks ago or a month ago, but it is doing really well. There's lots of tomatoes. I've already harvested one that was blushing. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to me. Remember I was talking about my very favorite marigold bush? Well, I came over here to trim it yesterday because it was all up in the blackberries way, and I guess I hurt its feelings because now it fell over. So it's probably dead. Whoops. So I'll have to deal with that later. My kids have an appointment today. We have a lot of appointments. I mentioned in another video that my older son has special needs, so we were busy a lot. But it's all good. I only have a few minutes out here until I have to go inside and get them ready. But these, I assume they're Romas, although the more and more I harvest off of them, the more I'm thinking they're not Romas. But I don't know. I feel like in the past my Romas were more, not this shape. They were more perfectly oval. Am I wrong? Now all of a sudden I don't remember. These all have sun scald because I pruned them too much. So yeah, it's okay. Most of them are going to ripen anyway. So I always pull them whenever they're just blushing because other things want to eat them and I want to eat them too. So I've been watering my strawberries a lot, trying to get them a little more healthy than they were. If you guys remember a few videos ago, or maybe even just the last video, I hurt their feelings with copper fungicide. So yeah. These Everglades tomatoes are next. You're getting the chop, buddy. Just as soon as I have the time. This is a elderberry plant that like cloned itself. I didn't know they did that. But I trimmed these marigolds back too to give them a little space. We all need a little space sometimes, you know. But I have a little baby melons on here. This is a Hale's Best cantaloupe. And honestly, I think what I had growing another place was not a Hale's Best cantaloupe. And that's why I thought it looked different. So, I don't know. I did give these a big old haircut. These are Everglades. Trellis, I trellised them up here more yesterday. And then there's also a cucumber growing in here, which I thought the cucumber was about done, but I still see baby cucumbers on it, so it can stay. If it's still making cucumbers, it can stay. And then my Floridae tomatoes, this one, I thought I had harvested everything off of it, so I was like trimming all the leaves off, but then it started flowering again. So I said, okay, it can stay. And it's got new tomatoes. I couldn't believe it because I thought that was a determinate tomato. So I may have been mistaken on that. I'll have to look again. But these ones definitely have sun scald because I pruned them too much. But they take forever to ripen, like so long. I've never seen a tomato take so long to ripen. Again, I'm not a professional tomato grower by any means, but it's just a little ridiculous. So hopefully they ripen ever. But again, I did over prune them by a lot. I'm trying to wait for that cucumber to go to seed. I really like those white spine cucumbers. They taste really good. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to talk anymore about that. Update on the Meyer lemon tree, though. It likes it over here better. So I think after it produces these lemons, I'm going to plant it in the ground. By then, I should be done. These beds might come out by then. I mean, they're definitely coming out, but they might be out by then. So I can plant that Meyer lemon tree along here somewhere. Go watch David the Good's grocery row gardening videos. That's how this will be set up eventually, once these things come out. I can only explain so many things because, you know, like if you don't have like I don't know, to explain something, you have to have such a full understanding of it. And honestly, I'm learning as I go here. But my watermelon here, I mean, it's coming along beautifully. I just keep waiting for something to come along and eat it before I get to. Let's hope that doesn't happen. That's a Brandywine tomato. That's a Brandywine tomato. And that's a Brandywine tomato. So again, don't do what I'm doing. That's just what I did. This one was pollinated. So I put that little brick under it so that it would, I don't know, have a little more room to grow. So yeah, I wonder if that one's gonna get pollinated. This little squash. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, something else I did this weekend. You guys remember all of those leaves with the downy mildew and stuff? Well, I made the executive decision that I just chop them all off. Then it just started growing again. This Tromboncino squash is a boss. This one, the reason I left that long vine is because that is attached to it. That might be the end of this vine. No. Is it? Oh no, that one's attached to it too, I think. It's hard to say. This plant is over here. They intertwine this way. But anyway, it started shooting off a whole bunch of new growth after I cut off all the old growth. So we'll see what it does. Look at that. Isn't that something? Maybe I can plant something along the back here. Maybe some more peppers, because that's a pepper there. That's a jalapeno. I have a bunch of peppers to plant out soon. Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? Man, it is already so hot out here. What time is it? It's not even 8 o'clock. Oh, it's 7:30, because that's what time my alarm was set for. Look at that. She's a beaut. This one too, huh? Man, that was like the darkest green watermelon. I don't know if I've ever had one like that before, like eaten one like that. Then we got a cute little guy here. I love the way baby watermelons look on the vine, because they look like little, I don't know, like little figurines or something. Love them. Let's hope they all ripen and come inside. I don't see any new watermelons. I thought I saw one yesterday where, oh goodness, my alarm kept going off. I must have pushed snooze instead of turned it off. But yeah, this one, I wonder if it wasn't pollinated. Hard to say. We'll find out. My sweet potatoes, though, are just doing fantastic. They're going to be spilling out of here. Well, I guess they already are spilling out of here. So, you know, those of you that are sweet potato growing experts, should I trim those vines whenever they come out, or just let them go wherever they're going to go? If anyone watching this knows, you let me know. But yeah, I think that's really all that I wanted to talk about today. Was it? I think so. Yeah, I guess I gotta go inside and deal with my adult responsibilities. Yeah, those are white pumpkins. I'm not sure if I've showed you guys those. I planted them a few days ago. There was a T-post here, that's why there's a hole. Yeah, white pumpkins. I don't know if they're gonna grow well here or not. It was some seeds somebody sent me, and I thought, why not? Let's just try it. That's my Seminole pumpkin. Hasn't flowered yet, but I didn't plant it very long ago. Maybe a month ago. I got some volunteer zinnias. Anyway, I'm pleased. I am pleased. Things are looking okay. I like it whenever it starts to look like a jungle like this. It's very nice. But I better come out here and pick those beans soon, because I don't want them to get all hard and woody. I don't like that. Oh, you know, I'm glad I haven't let you go yet, because I wanted to show you these peppers. So I'm not an expert pepper grower. I've grown a few jalapenos, but not, I wouldn't say I was a successful jalapeno grower even. But these are California Wonder bell peppers, and they're doing pretty good, I'd say. That's what all of these on this side are. I'm trying to find a good example. I had to stake them yesterday because it was very windy. And they were like blowing over. Oh man, just messing with this plant. It smells like bell peppers. Beautiful. But I guess I didn't know I should have staked them to begin with. So I hope I didn't hurt their feelings by staking them. But I think we're gonna have a lot of bell peppers. That's a Stone Mountain watermelon. Pretty excited about that too. Is it thundering? Oh my gosh. I hope it rains today. It rained in the town next to us yesterday whenever I was out grocery shopping, and it never rained at my house. I was so upset. My husband was home and I kept texting him, is it raining? Is it raining? He's like, no, it looks like it's going to, and it never did. Oh, but another thing he did for me this weekend, I've been having problems with sprinkler because my garden keeps expanding, and I don't have time to come out here and like water every day, like properly water just the soil, don't water the leaves, all the things they say to do whenever you're the best gardener in the whole world. I don't have that kind of time. So it's either I don't garden or I water improperly. Those are my options. So I water improperly, okay? So, I mean, really, you do whatever you want to do at your garden, and good for you if you have time to do that. And maybe in my next season of life, I definitely will. But for the most part, I use a sprinkler, just one of those what do they call them? Fan sprinklers that go back and forth. But my garden's too big now. So I tried setting up 2 sprinklers, and it was too big for that too. My husband fashioned me up something like this. So on top of this middle cattle panel trellis, he put this sprinkler, one of those, it goes around anyway, and it seems to get most of the garden. So that's been cool that he just did that yesterday. So I really look forward to having more time to actually work in the garden instead of having to walk around with the hose. So yes, good stuff. Okay, I'm really gonna go now, for real. And I hope you guys have a blessed week and everything goes well for you. And I hope you get lots of rain in your garden and everything grows wonderful and you have so many flowers and so many fruits. And until next time, my friends.